盏油灯能照亮大地，是因为人人心中有你。你为众生在燃烧自己，生生转世却从不属于。
Benevolent deeds from our many previous lives accumulate to awaken our Buddha nature. This is the calling of an enlightened one who embodies loving compassion and wisdom. The calling that allows us to cast aside our impure thoughts and distractions. The 8th day of the 12th month is an auspicious day, according to the Tibetan calendar. To the southeast of Julong County, Ganzi Prefecture, Sichuan Province, there is a village called Za'er. Master Zhong Jiaxi was well known in that village. In Kangba area, his attainments in geomancy and sorcery were recondite and highly reputed. The fellowship between him and the 16th living Buddha, Zhongba Rinpoche, was profound, and he was deeply influenced by the power of Buddha. His traditional practice was mixed with the mind of Bodhi. His wife Dawa Jima was a virtuous and kind Tibetan woman, true and benevolent to others. The 17th Zhongba Rinpoche returned to mankind according to his own wish and promise, made in eons past, being reborn as Zeren Wanjie, the 4th child of the Benbo master Zhong Jiaxi in Za'er village. The young 17th Zhongba Rinpoche bore many extraordinary physical characteristics. On his chest was an auspicious birthmark. An object in the shape of a pearl can be felt in each of his earlobes. As a child, Zeren Wanjie possessed extraordinary wisdom and acumen beyond his years, and demonstrated unusual spiritual awareness and abilities. On many occasions, when the young reincarnate was playing with others in games that mimicked the maintenance of monasteries and construction of stupas, spiritual monuments containing religious objects and relics, he would nonchalantly discover sacred objects in the surroundings where he was playing. Some of these sacred objects were later confirmed as Dharma objects hidden by Guru Bama Sambhawa, and later proved to be instrumental in the spiritual development of the young reincarnate. In 1991, at the Babong Monastery at Dege, Dasitu Rinpoche recognized Tserin Wangje as the 17th Zhongba Rinpoche. Since then, Zhongba Rinpoche has diligently studied under the guidance of His Eminence Dasitu Rinpoche. Subsequently, His Holiness the 17th Karmapa issued a letter to formally recognize Drungpa Rinpoche, naming him Zhongba Karma Yeshi Nyima Chinle, Chudeng Ninja Besangpo. In April 1991, the Lamas of Bangpo Monastery and Jojem Monastery conducted the enthronement of Drungpa Rinpoche on behalf of His Eminence Dasitu Rinpoche. To satisfy the needs of the people of the Ducheng district and to better coordinate the management of its monasteries and monks, the Bureau of Religion in the Sichuan provincial government appointed Drungpa Rinpoche the abbot of both the Bangpo Monastery and Jojem Monastery. Formal ceremonies were organized at both monasteries by the respective officials. In 2001, sponsored by the municipal government of Lijiang, the grand ceremony to welcome living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche was solemnly held in Jiyun Temple. People from all over came to the temple to participate in the welcoming ceremony. That day began early with the local civilians dressed in their finest and waiting with reverence and anticipation alongside the road. Masses of different ethnic groups sang and danced. The whole of La Shiba was jubilant. As the vigorous image of living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche under the grand yellow towel umbrella appeared before the masses, people crowded around him, struggling to see his kind face, and anxious to receive his adhisthana and blessings. After the city leaders addressed the occasion, 21 gentlewomen, each holding a cassock or a ritual implement, presented themselves to the living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche, symbolizing the prosperity of the Buddhist religion and the permanence of the Dharma. Then the monks welcomed the living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche to the main hall of the temple and presented to him the body, mouth, mind, manda plate, and many more oblations. Monks from various places came here to bless the living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche and prayed for the permanence of Buddhist power, prosperity in the land, and peace to the people. Even after inheriting the religious position, the living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche never ceased learning and retreating. His footprints cover all the Buddhist holy lands in Tibet, Qinghai, and Kangba area. He asked masters to grant instructions and obtained many cassocks. He visited India, Nepal, Sikkim, and Bhutan, and he pilgrimages to Lumbini, the birthplace of Sakyamuni, Bodh Gaya, where the Buddha completed his Sandana, Sarnath and Lingju Mount, where the Buddha turned the Dharma Chakra, and the sacred land where Bhamasambhava succeeded in Sandana and Adhisthana. Zhongba Rinpoche not only received the dogmas of his own religious sect, he also continued visiting the cultivated masters from 5 major religious sects in Vajrasana and obtained abundant abhiseka and instructions. What is especially valuable is that Zhongba Rinpoche has received personal instructions from the widely respected and supported Nyingma master, Sha-je Rinpoche. One day in 1996, Sha-je Rinpoche arrived at a land in China that was a pure dreamland. He saw a Buddha niche made of brass. Inside was enshrined a statuette of the great master Bama-Sambhava, but it was clad with thick dust. Sha-je Rinpoche dusted the statuette of great master Bama-Sambhava with his white cassock. This dream foresaw that, in the dust-clad years in China, there was an outstandingly capable talent with strong roots. Living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche had still another dream. An elder riding on a black leopard passed by him in a flash and disappeared into a hilly bush. Living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche realized that he would find an extremely important hierophant in his life. Living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche asked a religious friend to bring an interview request. Right away, Sha-je Rinpoche asked the friend to bring Living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche to him as soon as possible. On arriving at the lodging place of Sha-je Rinpoche, Yalem Shu Temple, the 8 auspices portrait had already been drawn on the ground with chalk beforehand, and the loud Sara music was played. Holding a kada in his hand, Sha-je Rinpoche was waiting for him before the temple's gateway. Each year for many years, Zhongba Rinpoche stayed secluded, meditating in front of the seat of Sha-je Rinpoche. For several months he did this, until Sha-je Rinpoche revealed the gift of tact and gave him abhiseka and careful instructions. The smritis that Zhongba Rinpoche received from Sha-je Rinpoche included the full breadth of smriti sculptures, Longqing, painstaking understanding, and the full understanding of the smritis buried and unearthed scriptures. Eventually all the hidden dharma from the Pan-Sophical Vajra Yogini, Sila Ganju, was unearthed. Sha-je Rinpoche has already decided that Zhongba Rinpoche will be the Lord of Dharma to carry forward the Longqing painstaking understanding. On the completion of the secluded meditation assigned by Sha-je Rinpoche, Zhongba Rinpoche attained ultimate understanding, free from the preconceptions of Mahamudra, thereby proving his complete understanding beyond any possible doubt. As Living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche has the vision of creating a non-division of religious sects and joint development, he has also asked to earnestly learn from the lamas of Satchaba sect, Geluba sect, and Benbo sect, and obtain the important inheritances from these 3 great Buddhist sects. As Sha-je Rinpoche said, Living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche is one of the most resourceful successors nowadays, holding the Dharma of Tibetan Buddhist sects. He is an extremely rare Lama, possessing the qualified Vajra. The Dharma bursting from his heart could certainly lead all beings to the bright future. In order to better learn the Dharma of both Mahayana and Hinayana sects, in 2001, Living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche went into an advanced Buddhist college of Chinese Tibetan language for further studies. Rinpoche successfully reformed and reorganized numerous monasteries and Buddhist education institutes in the Diqing and Gansu areas in accordance with traditions, while also adapting them to modern times and China's religious policies. Zhongba Rinpoche's most significant endeavor was re-establishing the importance of the Zhuo statue at the Jiyun Temple. This is the original statue from India, modeled after the 12-year-old Shakyamuni, and was one of the most important statues brought to Tibet by the Tang Dynasty princess Wencheng as her dowry for marrying Tibet's monarch. As the princess's entourage passed by Lashihai, the statue manifested various miracles, indicating its intent to remain in Lashihai, where it remained before being moved to Jiyun Temple after its completion. Zhuojia Temple is one of the centers for Paju oral teaching of Dharma. In the center of the temple hall, 3 Buddha statues and the statues of the founders are enshrined for worshipping. Bangbo Temple was built during the first generation of Garmaba. In the center of the temple's hall, a 7-meter-high golden Vajradhara and the statues of the founders of schools have been erected for worshipping. In the hall, there is a statue made personally by the first Garmaba, Dusum Jinba, of himself, more than 800 years ago. After succeeding the Dharma position, living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche reinstated the hall for secluded meditation. 4 groups of lamas originated from there, 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days after secluded meditation. He has also established Daocheng 5 Sciences Buddhism Academy, employed a senior Right Reverend, and recruited Buddhist students from different Buddhist sects from the Kang area and Tibet. They cultivated a number of religious talents with both good character and professional competence. Now they have 3 groups of graduates, as well as 100 religious students, awarded with the title of Right Reverend. Zhongba Rinpoche raised 2 million yuan for the reconstruction of the Damo Monastery, one of the 13 most important monasteries of the Lijiang area. Located in the Weiqi area of Yunnan, Damo Monastery is adjacent to and named after Bodhidharma Cave. This is the cave where Bodhidharma was rumored to have resided and practiced. Jizu Mountain's Shizhong Monastery in Dali Prefecture is a monastery of the Garma Gaju lineage and was instrumental in the history of Sino-Tibetan cultural exchanges. Zhongba Rinpoche has conducted a series of renovations of the monastery, including the completion of Avalokiteshvara Shrine in 1996. It regularly houses over 10 monks and provides a much-needed center for their learning and practice. Zhongba Rinpoche also donated gold-plated statues of the 21 Dharas and personally oversaw the redecoration of the monastery. On the edge of Shangri-La in Yunnan province lies a mountain called Juibao Mountain, where Zhongba Rinpoche has built a mandala. After years of construction, the mandala forms a forest of 49 stupas, which is also a scenic spot that brings blessings to the people of Shangri-La. In the middle of Lake Bita, located high up in the mountains of Shangri-La, lies the Lianhua Monastery. Over 300 years ago, the tribal chief of Lijiang built the Lianhua Monastery as a tribute. It literally means the Lotus Monastery. It had been destroyed over years of social turmoil. In 1998, Zhongba Rinpoche renovated the monastery and placed in its main shrine a bronze statue of Guru Bhamasambhava brought from Nepal. In 2006, with the support of various bureaus, Zhongba Rinpoche started the expansion of the Lianhua Monastery and has placed a 7-meter gold-plated bronze statue of Manjushri in the monastery. In order to provide much requested spiritual sustenance to the local populace of Shangri-La, Zhongba Rinpoche organized the necessary resources to undertake the rebuilding and renovation of the Cheng-En Monastery. Cheng-En Monastery was established in the early Ming Dynasty and was once an important center of Buddhism until it was subsequently left to ruin. Located in the Dechin district in the famous Fei Lai Monastery, meaning monastery descended from heaven, which was rumored to have been created out of thin air by the miraculous powers of the 13th Zhongba Rinpoche. Zhongba Rinpoche undertook the renovation of Fei Lai Monastery, where he placed and personally consecrated a replica of the original Zhuo statue and performed a major blessing ceremony for the local populace. Deep in the snowy mountains within the border of Dechin County, there is a quiet and clean place, especially suitable for the purified Sandana. Yuigong Temple is located here. Living Buddha Zhongba Rinpoche has rehabilitated the temple and went there for Abhiseka and imparting Dharma, and established a Buddhist school there. The Vajra Yogini Cave at Wenbi Mountain of Lijiang is one of the world's 21 sacred sites. Zhongba Rinpoche is raising funds to rebuild the retreat center in front of the cave, thereby re-establishing the foremost Buddhist learning center in the Lijiang region. The chief retreat instructor, who was appointed by Dasitu Rinpoche, is now assisting in the rebuilding of the retreat center, which, once completed, offers an ideal location to train monastic practitioners and to conduct the traditional 3-year, 3-month, 3-day retreat. On top of the Dongyuan mountain, near the ancient city of Lijiang, is the Dongbao sacred stupa, the existence of which was foretold by Buddha Shakyamuni. The Dongbao stupa was originally built by the local tribal chief at the suggestion of the 8th Karmapa during the Ming Dynasty. It was built as an offering to dispel floods and pestilence in those days, which it did. The people of the Lijiang and Dali areas believe the safekeeping of the stupa ensures their livelihood, while its destruction could result in untold disasters. All those who live near the stupa know not to destroy it, or take even a piece of brick from it, lest they risk bringing misfortune upon themselves. In order to satisfy the needs of the people and to revive an important monument of Buddhist heritage, Zhongba Rinpoche overcame numerous obstacles and rebuilt this important stupa to spread the blessings of Dharma for the benefit of all beings. As an important landmark of the Lijiang area, the Dongbao stupa contains a sacred mandala and the precious relics of many enlightened practitioners. May the Dongbao sacred stupa continue to fill the entire cosmos with blessings and merits. It is an ideal place of worship because it is arranged by great monasteries decorated with countless ancient Buddhas and bone relics of many great monasteries.
中国解开技能的人，学到忙的人的人，第二头人的人是，大家不希望过，别不希望过，的人这边人身体上的人，中国这个推起心了，这里现大人的人，日记全部等着的人。
For the benefit of the local populace, the country, and world peace, Zhongba Rinpoche has built over 20 stupas in various sacred sites in Yunnan Province, Wutai Mountain in Shaanxi Province, and various areas in Sichuan Province. It is customary for Zhongba Rinpoche to donate Buddha statues to every sacred site that he visits, which now exceeds 100 places. Zhongba Rinpoche regularly visits and monitors monasteries in the region, giving teachings and initiations to the Sangha. He is deterred by neither distance nor hardship, and does not forsake his Tibetan constituents who reside in poor and remote regions. He makes a point to listen to their needs and aspirations, and impart teachings and the government's latest policies to them. Wherever he visits and imparts teachings or performs blessing ceremonies, he offers suggestions to local authorities on how to facilitate economic and cultural advancement through coordinated planning and cooperation with neighboring regions. He is also strongly against racial isolationism. Rinpoche is held in high regard by the people in the region. In May 2005, the Garmaba and Dasitu Rinpoche sent a representative from the worldwide Garma Gaju Associated to pass on their request for Zhongba Rinpoche to take an additional responsibilities of supporting and managing two very important Gaju monasteries, Babang Monastery and Supfu Monastery.